Hi, so today I'm going to be presenting about trade in the Indus Valley during the Industrial Revolution and today. My research question is, how has trade impacted people throughout history? So what was trade like in the Indus Valley? Farmers would come in and trade with city people. Most city people were rich and so they wouldn't farm. Farmers would bring food into the city and city people would trade gold, pots, beads, or gemstones for the food they brought. Back then, people needed to meet face to face in order to trade. And as you guys all know, money wasn't invented. Indus people traded with Mesopotamia too. And in order to weigh things, they had a weighing system. This was the terracotta pot, the gold, the gemstone, and the beads they traded with. To check the weight, people used stone cubes as weight. This was the scale they used. This helped them know the rough weight. And archaeologists also found seals in Mesopotamia. How did trade impact people in the Indus Valley? Life was easier for Indus people because they can just trade their own goods for what they need. This also expanded the culture because faraway lands would come into contact with the city people. As trade became more common, the civilization slowly faded away. And lastly, a lot more people had jobs. What was trade like during the Industrial Revolution? During the Industrial Revolution, people all around the world started to trade more of the raw materials, such as woods, straws, and coals. This was used for making final products. As this went on, people moved a lot more. Then steam power and iron was invented. This enabled boats to travel further. And this is where exporting and shipping began. Europeans traded with Asia, America, and Africa for more than 2 centuries. As shipping and exporting increased, the trade routes expanded and competitions between countries grew and grew. After that, Europeans invented railroads, steamships, and people started to have factories. These were the railroads, steamships, and the factories. The triangle of trade. During the Industrial Revolution, England used to colonize the Caribbean islands. So they would get slaves from Africa and send them to the Caribbean islands to make things such as sugar, wood, rice, silk, indigo, and tobacco. All these things are then sent back to England. England would then give Africa cotton, clothes, iron, and beer. Africa would then send slaves to the Caribbean islands again. You can see how this trade route is like a triangle. So, how did trade impact people during the Industrial Revolution? Products were produced faster, and all the money they got from trading got used to build more factories, boats, and railroads. But Africans, which were slaves, didn't really get any benefit from this. And a lot of pollution also increased over time. This graph shows how trade has increased over time. Global trade and global production has increased a lot over the past years. So, what is trade like today? People use money and credit cards for everything. Now, meeting face to face is unnecessary, unlike before. Nowadays, we have online orders. We can order something online and then they can ship the thing to us. For expensive things like cars, we sign checks. Then the bank takes out our money from our account. The last one is cyber banking. This means that you can owe money to people by just logging into your bank account and selecting how much you want to owe. This is also done with a lot of security. And this is a picture of a check, like you need to sign it and it tells you how much money it's going to take out. How is trade impacting people today? Things are way more convenient and countries are wealthier. As people have more jobs, the world is healthier because they have the money to buy their basic needs. Trade is also impacting the world in a bad way. More factories are built, which cause less greenery. There's also more pollution from boats, factories, and cars. This is a picture of factories in the northern of Thailand. How has trade impacted people throughout history? As trade increased, people used more transportation. Trade also created opportunities for those who don't have a lot of money. And this picture shows that trade means job and trade means revenue, which means that you get money, and trade means prosperity, which means like success. As you can see, things became more convenient too. Trade really provides convenience. Anyone can just buy what he or she needs. Trade has also made civilization successful. This is because it is really rare to have just enough of everything for people to survive. This leads to countries being more developed. Even though things are more convenient, the pollution is increasing over time. Thank you.